Hey, what's going on, guys? YBHunted here, and today I'm bringing you another one of those news stories that all you guys love so much. And this is probably one of the biggest topics I've ever done, and one of the most important topics I've ever done. And today we're actually going to be talking about the Boston bombing that occurred a few days ago. I actually believe it was Monday, I think. I can't, that's actually probably something I should know, but I don't, and I'm sorry about that. But for those of you that don't know what it is, if you don't live in the U.S. If you live in the U.S., I'm pretty sure you know what it is. There was a terrorist attack, again, in the United States. Haven't had one since 2001, at least to this level. And it was nothing like 2001, where thousands of people died and two buildings collapsed. But nonetheless, it was a terrorist attack. There were 2 bombs placed at a marathon in Boston, and 3 people were killed. There was a lot of speculation and rumors, which is why I didn't want to make this video ahead of time and make it, you know, the day of or the day after, because there's no point in me rushing to get the video out just so that, you know, it can get a lot of views to bring you guys false facts, because I don't like to do that, and that's not what I'm about. So yeah, the real stat is 3 people are dead, 170 people wounded, possibly 200 people, anywhere in between that range. And that's basically what happened. And now I'm going to tell you guys more about the real facts and the truth about it, and what we definitely know what's true. Okay, so the 2 men, they caught both of the men on camera with backpacks. They were believed to be the suspects at first. They weren't sure. Then the FBI leaked 2, or not leaked, they released 2 photos of the men to the public, and instantly got hundreds of replies and tips about these 2 guys. There were 2 men, both, one was brown, because we don't know what he is, I'll just say he was brown. The other guy actually looked white. They both had backpacks. The one guy had a black baseball cap and sunglasses, and the other guy had just a white baseball cap with his hat on backwards. So not the best planning on their part to stay secret, but they used, you know, store cameras, surveillance cameras, and things like that to get pictures of these people. Then, you know, the FBI did their thing. They created the portraits of them, figured out how much they weigh, how tall they are, which they can do based off of pictures, and they got a lot of tips. Now, they have identified these men. They are both Russian. They are from the area of Chechnya, and their last names and first names I'm going to murder, so I'm just going to say their last name. It's Tsarnaev. It's Tsarnaev, and the link to this article will be in the description as well. Tsarnaev, I guess, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, so a giant manhunt ensued last night, and they actually found both of the brothers, and they got into a huge altercation, which actually caused the entire lockdown of the Boston area. Basically, they told everyone in Boston, go inside, these men are dangerous, they're terrorists, they came here to kill you, or their intentions were to kill people. They'll do it again if given the chance. Stay inside. Don't go to work. They told jobs not to open. They basically shut down the entire city just so that there would be no other people on the streets, and they could basically do, you know, have the easiest time trying to find these guys. So what happened is these guys obviously figured out, realized that they were pretty much found out, and tried to get away. And in the course of this whole manhunt and things like that, one university officer was killed, and another transit officer was critically wounded with gunshot wounds, and they also were throwing explosives. There was a police chase. One of the brothers actually died. His name was Tamerlan. I don't really know what it is because he's Russian. I don't really know Russian names. But he is dead. His other brother escaped and is at large. So that's basically what the whole point of the chase is now, is just to find the other brother. And then they carjacked a man hours before, took him on a ride, and about 30 minutes later released him. He wasn't injured, but they took his car, and that's the car that the police chase happened. They were actually they exchanged gunfire, and they threw explosives at police officers. So these guys are definitely very dangerous. Now, other reports, and I read other articles that showed that these 2 guys actually, they didn't just come here from Russia. They've been living in the Boston area for over a decade. That's 10 years for those of you that don't know, and that is pretty ridiculous. They're younger guys. They both went to high school in America. One of them actually went to a prestigious high school, and I cannot remember the name. I don't even know if I ever actually looked it up. But the one was, you know, a boxer and a wrestler, and actually aspired to be on the U.S. boxing team at one point, and the other one, you know, graduated high honors from a prestigious high school. So these aren't your everyday terrorists you think come over here in a plane, either crash the plane or get off the plane and do something and then try and go back. They've been living here for a while, so their motives no one really knows. The only thing that they can connect to is the area of Chechnya in Russia has been linked to other terrorist attacks, not to the U.S. but Russia and Moscow have both they've both actually, that's the same thing practically, but whatever. Anyway, this area has been known for producing terrorism to Russia, so specifically Moscow. So that's the only real tie that they have, and they don't know the motives. Why are these two doing this if they're U.S.? They're pretty. I don't know if they're U.S. citizens, but they've been here for over 10 years. So I don't know if that considers them citizens or not. But there's no real ties, and it sucks that they killed this guy, because you can't ask him questions if he's dead, and chances are the other brother's going to end up dead too, or he's just going to escape, and it's going to be a long time before anyone finds him. Chances are they're going to find him soon, but you never know. He could always flee the country somehow, and then that's a huge ordeal. It becomes that much harder if he leaves the country. Now, as far as the different pictures go, I want to touch on that as well. There was a picture of a man huddled over a woman, and people were saying that it was his wife. He was going to propose to her at the end of the race, but he couldn't because she died. That's what I was talking about with the rumors and why I didn't want to come out with this video sooner. That guy was actually just not grieving. He was comforting that woman. She was hurt, but she actually wasn't dead. Two of the three people that died were children. One was a small boy who was 8 years old, and the other one was a small girl. I actually don't know who the third person is, but as far as wounds go, there were, like I said, 170 to 200 people wounded. Anything from small cuts to losing legs. There was actually a picture of a guy in a wheelchair with his lower half of his left leg completely snapped off. Basically what it was is these guys had backpacks, and they dropped their backpacks off at the sidewalk and basically just left. The bombs were made out of pressure cookers and shrapnel of different sorts, whether that be shards of metal, nails, things like that, and then they were remote detonated with a cell phone, which is why they closed down the cell phone towers and things like that in Boston for a while, because they were afraid that there could be other bombs, and if they closed down the cell phone services, then they might not be able to get that signal through to explode other bombs. So that's all I have for today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you'll leave a like, that'd be much appreciated, because I actually have a chem exam in 3 hours I should be studying for instead of making this video. Leave any comments as always, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to check out the video showcase of the day, subscribe in the top right corner if you haven't yet, and follow me on Twitter. The link's in the description below.